Just imagine, you're walking at night in central Mexico. You see a little hole, peek in, and there are bright orange legs. How awesome would that be? Today we're going to be talking about Brachypelma smithi, or the Mexican redknee. I believe this is a viewer request video. I'm going to talk about the care of Brachypelma smithi from a very small spiderling to a young adult. This is a small spiderling. They are one of the slower growing species. This one is already about a year old. When you have a very small sling, you would not want to put them in a shoebox container this size or even this size. I recommend the very small deli container size. You would not want to put a new sling in anything larger than this, in my opinion, because they tend to stress out. And these would feed a brand new sling, or a sling up to this size can feed on a small cricket. However, you might want to break the back legs off. I know some people feed tiny roaches. You would not want to feed a roach larger than the body of the animal. And a really young animal, you would want to look and see if it fed within 24 hours, and if not, you would want to take the roach out and maybe try again later. Of course, if your animal's getting ready to molt, they probably won't feed, and there's always the risk of the insect nibbling on your spider or even killing them. You need to be very careful about that. Of course, when a tarantula gets larger, it's not as dangerous, but crickets can kill your animal, so you want to be conscious not to feed an animal that's getting ready to molt, and to always follow up after feeding. Speaking of feeding, I'm probably going to be publishing a feeding video soon. These two are about 3 years old. They begin to develop their beautiful adult coloration at about an inch, and you can see every time they molt they become more beautiful, because this 3-year-old is about one molt ahead of this one. In comparison, this one is quite a bit brighter and more beautiful. Here I have a subadult. They are notorious hair kickers. This is a species that unfortunately I've never been able to reproduce successfully. There is a rumor that to get these to breed and drop a sack, you need to cool them in the wintertime and then flood them in the summer. So you need really high humidity. This is an animal that lives at about 75 to 82 degrees, fairly humid. And contrary to popular belief, I do feel that this is an appropriate enclosure for a subadult size smithi. Many people get larger containers. Many people argue that you need to have really deep substrate. However, I've never had a problem with my animals molting, feeding, or being distressed. A sign of a distressed animal might be trouble molting, in which case that might indicate that you need more humidity. An animal not feeding, which may indicate that they need to molt or that they are stressed. Or also a restless animal. That may indicate that they are in an improper enclosure, or maybe that you've had a mature male molt out and that they are seeking a female. I first started keeping this animal in the 90s. They're one of my favorite. They are one of the more docile species. I think they're incredibly beautiful. They get fairly large. I consider them an easy species to care for, and I just absolutely love. It's one of my favorites, Brachypelma smithi, or the Mexican redknee. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can always comment or email me at deadlytarantulagirl@yahoo.com. I hope you liked this video on Brachypelma smithi, and I'll see you soon.